Y'all legitimately have no idea how like refreshing it was watching Real Madrid tonight. Watching Real Madrid tonight play against RB was one of the most refreshing things to watch this team be organized, have a game plan, stick to the game plan, players sticking to positions, a team playing football that actually looks like football. I love Ancelotti, and I can't say enough of the things that Ancelotti has done in world football. The man is an absolute legend, monstrous manager. But it was so time for him to leave Real Madrid just because it was time for this team to have a different outlook of the games, of the way they see games. And under Xavi Alonso, after 3 games, every game you are seeing the team evolve. And we're into game 3 under Xavi Alonso, and we finally get to see a Real Madrid in a 3-back formation that I've been begging for. Now, we're going to call it 3-back. People who actually watch football know it's a 5-back, but people don't like to say 5-back because 5-back in the footballing world has a bad stigma. We don't like calling it a 5-back. We hate calling it 5-back because when you say a team plays a 5-back, you instantly think of anti-football, negative football, or very defensive football. But the way 5-backs are played in modern football by many coaches like Xavi Alonso, like Ruben Amorim, who's now at Manchester United, you could play it very offensive. And the way Real Madrid played it tonight was very offensive, but at the same time, when it needed to lock up, it was perfect. It allowed our boy Dean to, I want to say his last name, but I'm not 100% comfortable saying his last name yet, so I don't want you guys to meme me, so I'm not going to say it yet till I know how to say it properly, okay? The young Spanish guy out the back is one of the best center backs I've seen playing out the back in world football. The guy is phenomenal playing out the back. But when you're in this formation, it allows Trent, it allows Fran Garcia to be able to go more up the field. And also, when you're in this formation, it allows your left back and right back to not be the best defensively, right? When I used to watch Sporting play this in Portugal, they would use players like Kenda or players like Jenny, Nuno Santos, which are players that are not left backs and right backs, but they're actually wingers that play that because they just adapt to a little bit of a defensive style, but realistically, they're not left backs and right backs. So what this allows is if Trent is not the best right back defender in the world, it's okay because you're going to have the cover of Rudiger, of Chouamane, of Dean. You're going to have the cover of Fran Garcia. There's always going to be players helping you. And then we know how much Valverde runs, that Valverde is always going to be there to also help the defense as well. So it's just this thing of a real organized team. And real quick, I don't know how many of y'all care about this, but I just reopened up my Snapchat and I'm going to be like literally vlogging on there. You know what I mean? Daily vlogging, but not only daily vlogging, but like constantly talking to you guys about games that are going on and like real life football stuff. Like as I see a rumor or something, I'm gonna be on there kind of going crazy. So if y'all are interested in listening to me talk about football even more, head over to my Snap. The little link will pop up right there, but it's just pretty much A9 skills. You'll find me on there. But yeah, man, we're gonna be talking about loads of football, more football all the time on Snap, plus a little bit of personal life stuff. So yeah, man, come over there and follow me and give me boy a little follow. All right, whatevers. It's so nice to finally say Real Madrid have a plan. And I want to see Xavi Alonso execute this formation more. And we can't have a conversation. We cannot talk. Honestly, we just can't without talking about Gonzalo Garcia. I want to make sure I'm saying that right. I'm pretty sure his name is Gonzalo Garcia, right? Let me first, before I look absolutely stupid out here, make sure that's exactly what his name is. Gonzalo Garcia's from Real Madrid, right? Born in 2004. We talk about the Gyökereses, we talk about the Lewandowskis and the Harry Kanes, and we talk about all the great number 9s, the Isaacs that are in football right now, the Haalands, and we talk about how it's a position that is lacking and slacking, and it's a position that many teams need. Arsenal needs a number 9. At times last year, we thought Real Madrid needed a more traditional number 9. Many teams around the world have talked about needing a traditional number 9, and it's hard to find. Well, out of nowhere, Xavi Alonso puts this young kid playing, Gonzalo Garcia, and in my opinion, the quality is oozing. The ability, the control of the ball, the finishing, the composure, the press. This kid is the full package. This kid is legitimately the full package. At 21 years old, it makes me actually feel bad for Endrick because I just don't see a world where Xavi Alonso can see the performances that Garcia has had in the Club World Cup and think to himself that he's not the second striker after Mbappe. This kid has proven not only does he deserve to be at the senior level of Real Madrid and part of the main Real Madrid team, but he shows that he should be competing for that number one spot. Now, for him to get the spot over Mbappe is going to be very difficult because Mbappe is Mbappe. But when you really sit down and you look at this player, I wouldn't be surprised if there's many teams knocking at the door to get this kid on loan or even to try to buy him going into this next season because he has shown quality in a position that is really slacking in world football right now. It's hard to find a really, really good number 9. And you might be like, well, skills, he hasn't really. If you go and you look at that RB goal, the goal he scored, the third goal against RB, the goal he scores here is phenomenal. The first thing he does is presses the defender into making a mistake. And then after he forces the mistake, which he intercepts the ball himself, he then runs the rest of the field. And then when he has the keeper one-on-one, earlier in the game, he went low and he missed. So this time he knew he couldn't go low because the keeper is all right at saving low. So he does a little dink, a little chip, a little pop-up shot, and he places it absolutely perfectly. And anyone who watches a lot of football knows that this is a quality finish. It is a finish for someone that is 21 years old to have that composure, to have that timing, to have that just whereabout, right? Because he makes the interception. He has 2 center backs chasing him, 2 defenders chasing him down, and to have the time, the composure to be able to think of this and execute it. Execute is the most important thing. To be able to execute it so flawlessly is not easy. It's not easy. We all know it's easy. People will say it's easy. People will try to make it sound like it's easy because he's a Real Madrid player, right? But the truth is, it's not an easy finish. It's a brilliant finish, and it's really what I believe. This goal is what I believe Xavi Alonso is bringing to Real Madrid. This is what I expected when he signed for Real Madrid. What do I mean by that? I mean a pass from the back to the front, a nice pass. It's a little bit too much of a pass. But the striker, Garcia, does not give up. He presses. He gets the interception. He continues on the continuously plays the ball and is able to finish off the play. This is what I expected to see from Real Madrid. A team that presses high, a team that's composed, a team that scores a lot of goals, but at the same time, a team that is extremely well organized on defense. And we're getting that. And that's what Bayer Leverkusen did for so long under Xavi Alonso. So instantly, I already see a difference with this Real Madrid, and I'm loving it. I also think this 3-back works really, really well for Real Madrid because Tchouaméni, this is a perfect player for this 3-back, 5-back formation because he's a hybrid. And I think you need hybrids in this formation. What do I mean by that? When I watch Sporting use this formation so successfully against Benfica for the last 3 years or 2 years under Ruben Amorim, you need players that can play ridiculous passes out the back, over the tops, through balls. You need that. And having Tchouaméni, who's a great midfielder at passing the ball and intercepting the ball, now at the center back, you allow him to be able to put nice passes out the back. You have that boy Dean that dribbles the ball so well, passes the ball out the back well. Rudiger's a decent player out the back. We saw today in this game, he tried to go on like a Ronaldo Messi run where he ends up messing up his muscle because he was trying to go crazy with it. Even Vinny was laughing at him. But you have Real Madrid have such talented players in the back, just like the Barcelonas and stuff. These players are players that can make such wonderful passes out the back, and they can play so many different positions that this actually suits them so well. And then, like I said, giving Trent the freedom to not have to defend so much and be able to go forward. I remember around the 90th minute in this game, Trent makes a good run forward, and he puts a beautiful pass to Brahim, and he's just unable to finish the play, right? He's just unable to finish it off because it was a great ball from him. So seeing Trent be able to do what Hakimi does for PSG, where a lot of times when you watch PSG play, you saw Hakimi would be freaking pretty much in the box scoring goals or getting assists. It allows Trent to be that far up the field with this amazing formation that they're playing under. Amazing when I say under Xabi Alonso. But to speak of individual performances, man, it was like not only a breath of fresh air watching Real Madrid play this, but a breath of fresh air watching Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr.'s, I think it's the second goal, where he puts this beautiful back heel. Maybe it's the first goal to Valverde. It is vintage Vinicius Jr. What we've been missing, what we've been lacking, what we've been slacking. It was like this. I got this like flashback to when he was the season he had when we thought he could win a Ballon d'Or. He was just composed. He wasn't trying to do too much. He did just enough. He wasn't trying to prove that he could do skill moves. He laid the ball off beautifully to Valverde. It's a beautiful team goal. And it was really, really nice to watch him perform. It was really nice to see how Gulera played with this team. I do feel really bad for Endrick. I just don't know where he has a spot. And I know Endrick wants to play the World Cup, so it's just better if Endrick goes on loan. If I was Endrick, and I'm not saying this because I'm Portuguese, I was speaking to my cousin today, and my cousin's a huge Sporting fan, and it looks like Gyökeres could be on his way out if Arsenal can actually land a deal with Sporting, or Man United can land a deal with Sporting, because it looks like Gyökeres wants to leave. And I told my cousin, I was like, man, you guys are Sporting fans. I was like, if I was you guys, man, I'd be knocking at Madrid's door to see if you can get Endrick on loan. A 1-season loan. It's a win-win situation for Sporting. Why? Because they get a number 9, but they get a number 9. They have Harder already, and Harder is somebody that is supposed to take over after Gyökeres, but I don't think they think he's ready yet. So having Endrick to compete for that number 9 spot would be absolutely beautiful, because you get him for 1 season. You can help him develop, which a lot of players do in the Portuguese league. You can help him develop, and not only can you help him develop, but Endrick, it's a win-win because he can get playing time to actually be able to make this World Cup team. So for Madrid, I think it's a smart move to let him go on loan to somewhere in Portugal, or somewhere in the French league, maybe somewhere that Endrick can really get a fair shake at getting a start. Sporting, I think, is a really good move if Gyökeres actually does leave. But I do feel for Endrick, because I just don't see where he really fits in with the way Garcia has played. And I could tell instantly, I think you guys could tell too, Garcia is Xabi Alonso's guy. And there's a reason why he's not subbing him out. Garcia went the whole game today, because Xabi Alonso is trying to make sure that, okay, we don't need to go buy a number 9. We don't need to go get someone like a Joselu. You have your Joselu. You have your positionary number 9 on the team already. You don't have to go get one. And I think he's trying to make sure of it, and that's why he's playing this kid so much with Mbappe being out, just to make sure that, okay, we don't need to go get a Joselu. We have this guy. We're set. So that in itself is a huge W for Real Madrid. But I don't see a place for Endrick, and I'm gonna be real with you guys, man. I don't see a place for Rodrigo. As much as it breaks my heart to say it, I don't see it. I think this is one of Real Madrid's best lineups, right? I would see it as Vinny Jr. and Mbappe up top, with then Fran Garcia, Trent, Jude Bellingham, Valverde, Gulera, Dean, Tchouaméni, Rudiger. I see this as one of their best starting teams. If they get Carreras after the Club World Cup from Benfica, he'll probably play with Fran Garcia. Maybe we'll see how that plays out. Mbappe is definitely going to start. Garcia off the bench. You got Garcia off the bench. You have Danny off the bench. You have Brahim off the bench. So that's perfect. Modric is leaving. And I just don't see how Rodrigo really fits into this. If Rodrigo is cool coming off the bench for Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe consistently, then I see a world where he can play. But if he's not cool coming off the bench, then I don't see a world where this makes sense. Right now, Rodrigo's price tag is high. There's teams that need wingers. Real Madrid could definitely move him for a good money. If you sit him for the year, using him as a substitute, the money goes down. It's not as profitable for Real Madrid to then sell him. But I just don't see a world. Are you benching Valverde? No. Are you benching Jude Bellingham? No. Are you benching Gulera? Remember, you still have Camavinga, right? Are you benching Gulera? I see him probably getting playing time. Garcia, Trent, those are right backs and left backs. Now, can he adapt Rodrigo to playing the hybrid right back? Yes, but Trent is already in that position. Can you adapt him to playing for Fran Garcia as a left back, left mid / player the same way Ruben Amorim used, like I said, Nuno Santos, who was a winger, and Jenny and Katamu. These are players that are wingers, and he adapted them. Yes, but I don't see them doing that to Rodrigo, and I don't even think Rodrigo would be happy doing that. So I don't see that happening, right? So I don't see him playing there. I don't see Vinny getting benched. I obviously see Mbappe playing, and I just don't know if Rodrigo is even going to get the first look at being subbed on over this Garcia kid, because I don't know if that's going to happen. So I see a world where Rodrigo leaves. I see a world where Endrick goes on loan. And I see a world where Real Madrid is not done buying yet. Do I think they're going to go out and buy anybody huge? No, I think they might pay $50 million for Carreras if they can make that deal happen. I think this team has a lot of what Xabi Alonso needs. I don't think they have to spend a lot. What they need now is to get the best out of Mbappe, the best out of Vinicius Jr. And the big thing is when Mbappe returns to the team with the lack of pressing from Vinny Jr. and the lack of pressing from Mbappe, if Xabi Alonso can't get them to press, does this affect the team in a negative way? Maybe, maybe not. But we're definitely going to be able to see how Mbappe performs under Xabi Alonso and how Vinny performs under Xabi Alonso. And I don't mean how they perform when the ball is on their feet. I mean, what do they do when the ball is off their feet, when there is no ball on their feet, right? Because that was Real Madrid's biggest problem last year. Under Ancelotti, Mbappe and Vinny didn't press enough, which left the rest of the team having to do extra defending and not enough defending, which is why they suffered so many goals. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how that works out. Also, being in a 5-back, you can have less players pressing because you have more defenders, and then this counterattack game is crazy, right? So it's going to be real cool to see. It's going to be this cool. Every game, Madrid's getting better. And it's very, very nice to see the progression, right, of how this team is progressing. Xabi Alonso's barely had a lot of trainings with this team, so it's very nice to see how they're progressing. I think they're a very, very strong team. I do think they're one of the favorites to win this Club World Cup. Do I think this team can beat a City right now? Yes. Do I think this team can beat a PSG right now? No. Do I think this team can beat a Chelsea right now? Yes. Do I think this team could beat a Benfica right now? No, I'm just kidding. I do think Madrid can beat most of the teams there, but I do think there's teams there that can beat them. And I think PSG is one of them. As Xabi Alonso gets more time, I think that could change. But in the meantime and in between time, I do see teams there that could beat Real Madrid. But I'll see a lot of teams that Real Madrid can knock out as well. So it's going to be fun to watch the rest of the Club World Cup. I'm excited to see how this team keeps progressing, and I'm excited to see what the team looks like when Mbappe's back in the lineup. Because right now, it's going to sound really messed up for me to say this, and I love Mbappe. Garcia does not deserve to get pulled from this lineup. So he's in that. The way Xabi Alonso goes about it is going to be very interesting because Garcia does not deserve to get pulled. He's one of Real Madrid's best players in this tournament right now. I don't think he deserves to get pulled, but again, it's Mbappe. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see when he brings Mbappe in, how he brings Mbappe in, and when he brings Mbappe, right? All that's going to be really important because Garcia's been good, dude. Garcia does not deserve to get pulled out yet. Let's be honest. Anyways, love you guys, man. That's my thoughts on Xabi Alonso, Real Madrid, this RB game. Fun game to watch. Vinicius Jr. scored. Vinicius Jr. assisted. Garcia scored. Very, very fun game. Nice goals as well. Dope game to watch. Stadium full. Very, very nice. Real refreshing Club World Cup game, if I'm being honest with you. It's fun to watch.